Here's today's review worksheet for our quiz for percents unit, the first part of the chapter here. So we're going to go through, I will read the question to you. I will pause, you'll answer it on the Edpuzzle. So you'll do a multiple choice answer choice. And then after that, I'll go over the question just to show you how I would have set it up using the different ways to actually solve it. So number one here, if there are 100 people who took a survey, if 25% of the responders answered no to a question, how many no answers were received? So if there's 100 people, that if you are using the proportion setup is over of percent over 100. Your percent is 25. There's 100 people who took the survey. That's your total number, so that'll go on the bottom. We want to know how many are here on the top who gave the no answers. Cross multiplying results in 100x equals 2,500. You're going to divide by 100 on both sides, and x is going to be 25 no answers. If you are an equation setup person, you probably did it that you want 25% of 100 is what? So 25%, 0.25, of means to multiply by 100, is means equals what? And you're still going to get 25 equals x here. Here's question number 2. We'll jump to this one, it's okay. We'll do this, we'll call it number 2 instead. 12% of 335 is what number? Either proportion method or equation method. Proportion method, you're going to put the 12% up here, no percent symbol, just the number. 12 over 100 of 335 is going to go down here. X is your is number. If you're an equation writer, 12% becomes a decimal. Of tells me to multiply by 335, is means equals what number tells me to put an x. Solving both of these, you're going to actually end up with the same answer. And if we do 12 times 335, we get 4,020. Dividing by 100 on both sides, x is 40.2. On this side right here, all you need to do is to multiply 0.12 times 335, and you also get 40.2 equals x. Down here, this is going to be number 3 for us today. What percent of 50 is 24? Proportion setup, we have a 100 here. What percent of 50 is 24? Equation setup, what of 50, so times 50, is equals 24. I'm going to just rewrite this a little bit nicely. 50x equals 24. Divide by 50 on both sides here. X equals 0.48. But remember, this says what percent, so percents show up as decimals here, so we would need to move that over as 48%. Over with the proportion method, you are going to cross multiply, divide through by 50 on both sides to isolate the x, and you get 48 equals x. Last one here, Sammy ate 6 packs of fruit snacks. This is 75% of the total number of fruit snack packs in a box. How many fruit snacks are in a box? So looking at this one, 6 is 75% of what? Because the what is our total there. So if we are doing a proportion, we're going to have 6 over x equals 75 over 100, part of the box over the whole box. So cross multiplying 600 equals 75x, divide through by 75 on both sides, and you're going to get 8 equals x. If you're an equation methoder, 6 is 75% of what? Divide by 0.75 on both sides, and you're going to get 8 equals x. So there are 8 snacks per box. Taking a look at the next example, a trail mix recipe is shown in the table. What percent of the trail mix is peanuts? For this one, I'm just going to show you the proportion method, which is going to be part over whole equals percent over 100, because I think that's pretty easy to realize what's going on in that example. So peanuts is the part, and then we'll also need to figure out what's the total amount in here. So if I look at these, 4 plus 2 is 8, plus another 2 is 10, is 11.5, is 12.5. So we have 12.5 cups here total. So taking a look, part is the over whole. So the peanuts are 4 cups out of the 12.5 cups is equal to my percent out of 100. So I'm going to cross multiply 400. I'm going to rewrite this as 12.5 because it's just a little bit nicer then. So 12.5x. I'm going to divide by 12.5 on both sides. And when I do 400 divided by 12.5, I get 32 equals x. So peanuts are 32%. Taking a look at number 6, Mrs. Jacoby bought this Calico Critters house for her cousin. The original price was $94.88 and it is on sale for $74. What is the percent of change in the price? Remember to divide by the original. Once you get the difference, go back and divide by the original. Also include if it's an increase or a decrease. So to find your percent of change, you need to find the difference first. So 94.88 minus 74 is going to give us a difference of $20.88. We will then take that and divide by the original price, which is right here of $94.88. So $20.88 divided by 94.88. I get 0.2200 blah blah blah. And remember, we're going to just put the first 2 numbers. We're going to round to the hundredths place here. And that is a decimal, so then I change it over to a percent. So this is a 22%. And then, because the price was 94, went down, that is a decrease in the price. Final example for you on this one today is a percent error type question. Mrs. Grabner estimated that there were 75 Hershey Kisses in a jar. She won the jar of kisses because she was the closest guesser. There were actually 83 kisses. What was Mrs. Grabner's percent error in her guess? So to calculate your percent error, you're going to find the difference between the original and the actual. So we always just do bigger number first, which is 83 minus 75. So that is a difference of 8. And then you divide by the actual. Actually 83, so we're dividing by 83. And when I do that, I get a pretty ugly decimal. But remember, we're rounding to the hundredths place. So I see 0.09 followed by a 6, which is actually going to have me round up to a 10, 0.096. That 6 makes this 9 round up, which is how I get a 10 here. It's a decimal, change it over to a percent, so we see 10% error. If you're comfortable with these 7 questions, your quiz tomorrow is going to look very similar to this, these same types of questions that are here. So you'll be doing fine with your quiz. Just make sure that you're comfortable with these. You can always go back and rewatch the video as well.